Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Happy Thursday, Christopher.
Happy Hurst Olds Thursday, PJ.
And happy Thursday to a Roush winner today.
Roush winner, yeah, let's start with that. So this morning we found out that we have our third South Carolina winner. This is so exciting.
Yep, super excited about that. Big
Yep.
Roush package.
Now we're still waiting for him to give us a call back. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it until we get him on the phone. But we're hoping that he responds to us soon. And we're pretty good at making sure people return our calls.
You are tenacious, Chris.
Well,
You have to be.
Well, you got to be, you know. So I haven't heard back from him yet, but congratulations to the winner in South Carolina. I'll talk more about him and his name after I get him on the phone. Maybe that'll be later tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see.
Roger helping us out with a little call out, so we appreciate that, Roger.
Appreciate that, Roger. So yesterday we showed you that Tesla, and thanks for all the positive feedback on the Tesla. What an amazing 1,000+ horsepower grand prize that is. But also yesterday we launched the Hurst Dream Giveaway. Not just a Hurst Olds Dream Giveaway, but a Hurst Dream Giveaway. So for those of you who haven't followed the ownership history of the Hurst Corporation, George Hurst, of course, passed, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But Hurst was sold to Holley. So Holley owns the Hurst brand. And they're going to be helping us with some modifications to that GMC Sierra 1500. That's half of the grand prize. But when you look here, this is all the way back to the days when George Hurst and the Hurst Corporation was showing up at drag strips, both on the West Coast and the East Coast. One convertible was made for each coast. And you may recall that they built a platform on the back of the convertibles, and they put this big old shifter, and then Miss Hurst, usually it was Linda Vaughn, but they had Hurstettes as well, would be there waving to the audience, and they would do a parade lap down that quarter mile.
Do we have a picture of that, Chris?
I think we do. So we're going to go right on over here, and we're going to see a little bit blurry. So those are the Hurstettes, and then back there you can see the shifter there, but when you look at this picture, that is definitely, that looks like Linda Vaughn to me, right?
And that's that big shifter that's in the back.
You're right. And so Miss Hurst, I think that even earlier than that they called it Miss Golden Shifter, because you see the gold there, and that's where the gold in the
I can see it
Hurst
in this photo too, but you can't see it because it's a head-on.
Right. That's kind of where that iconic gold came from on the Hurst vehicles. Hurst Olds, of course, started in 1968, only available in 1969 to the general public as a hardtop. And those two convertibles that were produced, one for each coast, not sold to the general public. So you could not order a Hurst Olds convertible from your Olds dealer in 1969.
This has 3 convertibles built.
I'm glad that you brought that up, PJ, because the East Coast car burnt like a bad piece of toast, PJ. And so they had to make a replacement one for it.
But they weren't for the general public.
Not for the general public.
And those 3 too are...
They were promotional use only, as far as we know. Both of those that weren't burnt exist. From what I was told, the last time one was offered for sale was like $700,000+. No, this is not one of the two.
Even though it's a convertible.
Even though it's a convertible. So, a big Hurst Olds fan went to extreme lengths to go ahead and to build a Hurst Olds tribute or replica convertible. And to do so, he enlisted the help of Thornton Muscle Cars in the great state of Pennsylvania. And Thornton actually had the privilege to restore one of the 2 convertibles, so they know him really, really well. So this was done way, way, way beyond the level of how the Hurst Olds cars were converted by Deming back in 1969. So over the top on this restoration that it was invited to the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals in Chicago and got a rave review there. What an amazing car. To give you an idea, over $100,000 in the restoration cost.
What?
Over $100,000.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money to put into a car.
Oh,
never mind get the car.
Absolutely. So we always like starting these, and I love doing this with GMA bodies. So I'm going to let you hear this. Oh yeah, yeah, good stuff. Now, well, I was telling PJ before we went live that the GMA body, the intermediate from 68 to 72, was pretty much the same frame and the same body panels, not entirely. So that means that this 68 GTO is also an A body, and you can see the similarities in the body lines and the curves and the fender. Now the rear quarters are much different on the Cutlass there. So what do you guys think of it? Did we pick a good one for you to enter to win when you help out those 8 great charities? Let's hear your comments.
Alan says, come on baby, make it hurt so good.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice.
Indeed. Also going to mention to you guys that we now have exclusive content on our YouTube channel. Stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Yes, you definitely want to check that out.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring that bell, and then you'll be notified every time that we put new content out there. From what I'm told, we have over 1,000 videos. Can you believe it, PJ?
It's a lot of talking by you, Chris.
A lot of talking by me on our YouTube channel. And a lot of thumbing by you, PJ.
Yeah. Tommy says, been waiting for this one, was my favorite in Area 52, but couldn't tell anyone about it.
Oh, that's right.
So cool, and the truck is awesome. Thank you, Tommy.
When the hardtops came off of the line, they gave Deming and Hurst Tornado engines, because those were the only engines that were 455 cubic inches back in 1969. You couldn't get a 455 in a Olds other than the Tornado until 1970. So this one, of course, has a date-coded engine as well. Yes, it did start life as a white convertible. This is not a hardtop conversion. This was a convertible off of the factory line. And look, every chalk mark here, from the special here,
what was
right
that
here,
all about, Chris?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to ask next time I speak to the previous owner on that, to the way the cutout is right there on it.
Oh yeah. Well, this hood up here is quite impressive with the Hurst call out on it and the whole.
Right, HO 455. Some people say that that stands for high output, but other people say that it stands for hairy olds. Like, ever hear the old phrase, man, that was a hairy ride, like a really intense ride, an aggressive ride. But even with all that said, this was known as a gentleman's muscle car back in the day. We gave one away before. We gave away the first one ever delivered to a retail customer. And I've got to tell you, even though that car had historical significance, the restoration quality of this convertible is so over the top, so national quality, just spectacular. And to our friend who saw it hiding over there in Area 52, you know that this car is amazing looking.
Alan says golden age of Hurst and Hurst products for converting
golden,
column shifts,
absolutely golden.
Column shifts to the floor.
Now let's take a look at that and see. Absolutely.
Yeah, no column shift here.
No, no column shift. Like the W30 Olds that we gave away. This definitely has a Hurst shifter. And here's what's neat. PJ, move that camera over there to just in front of the shifter knob, if you don't mind.
Like in the front here?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, right there. There's Linda Vaughn's autograph. Miss Hurst herself. There's her autograph right there. And look on the other side of the shifter knob toward the front of the car. This car was built with a factory AM/FM radio and an 8-track.
Look at the 8-track is still in there, Chris.
Ah, there's an 8-track. That's so nice. We haven't played with 8-track since the 72 Chevelle, I believe. And yes, the 8-track works in that case. So we're going to fire it up tomorrow for you guys and make sure that you can hear what that Harry Olds 455 sounds like. PJ, what do you have?
Dave says, could you mention all of the charities? Again, I logged in late.
8 great charities: the New Beginning Children's Homes, 4 Kids, Victory Junction, Honor Flight of West Central Florida, National Guard Educational Foundation, Mad Smile Network, and Bright Pink. PJ, thank you for that cue card.
So those are the charities.
Those are the charities.
Now, Roger says, and the Denali, which is...
And the Denali.
So
correct.
We have...
Yep, there's a prize package right there. And I've got to tell you guys, that mock-up shows a GMC 2500. It is a Sierra 1500, the actual prize package. We'll have updated photography on that, hopefully next week sometime. In fact, and we hope to show that to you as well.
Dave says, awesome, I'm in.
It really is, and what a great car. I mean, you've got the AC, you've got the AM, FM 8-track, you've got the Hurst shifter, you've got the power convertible top. I know someone's going to ask that rear gear ratio. I think it's a 318. So that's...
Chris, $100,000 worth of restoration.
Yeah, 100 grand just on the restoration. And here's something I'm going to point out. So here, the hardtops that were converted back in the day, they just put a decal here. This is painted on. That's the extent that they went here. So both of the door decals are painted graphics, not vinyl decals.
Alan says the gold detail paint looks like real gold flake application.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, this is a national award quality vehicle. And it sounds great. 380 horsepower, rated from the factory. Might be a little bit more than that.
Lori says Linda Vaughn with a little fire going on. So yeah.
Right. And we're hoping that one of these days, maybe being able to share some vintage photos of the Hurst Olds convertibles, the two, the West Coast car and the East Coast car.
And the winner gets this big, huge call out, right?
Yeah, the winner will get that big old poster, whatever you shall call it. And imagine, $4,300 for a hardtop back in the day, plus the conversion price, $683. That was a lot of money back in the day, right?
With the Hurst modifications.
Yeah, and if you look here, do we have a horsepower? Well, the compression rating, there we go. Horsepower, torque, 500 foot-pounds of torque. It is a torquey motor, but those of you who know the old engines of this era know that they are very torquey indeed. So there we have it, our latest, greatest giveaway, the Hurst Dream Giveaway, the prize package. Let's show them that card again with both of those prizes, the 69 Hurst Olds. And it is an incredible Hurst duo, as you guys are reading there on your screen, and a Sierra Hurst hauler that we will hopefully show you guys in about a week or so.
And this one's being brought to you by Holly, right?
Brought to you by Holly. Yep, so please support Holly. Okay, tomorrow we're going to fire it up Friday with the Hurst Olds. You know we got to do it, so we're going to do it. We'll see you guys then with more great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. We sure know how to pick them, PJ.
That's right.
It only happens right here in our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage.
See you next time, everyone.